Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing another project and it's actually going to be embedding this dandelion in some resin. So I've been prepping a little bit. I've got this skewer and I sanded it down because it was really big, and I just used some sandpaper and I'm going to insert it into the stem, but I have to cut it down a little bit, so let's do that. And then, as you can see, it's hollow, and I'm just gonna put the skewer very carefully inside. And now I'm going to let it dry further. So let's start making the mold. I'm going to be using a plastic bottle that has one smooth area. So let's cut into it. Please be careful using a knife. This is not for children, this is for adults. I'll try to get started. And once you get in, I just try to follow the line that's on the bottle. At least I try. It's not easy. So that's the first part. And let's cut the other side. So I'm going to just trim the edge so it's a little bit more even. So that's good enough. I'm gonna set this one aside for a little bit, and let's put some of this clay on here. So let me open it up. So I just opened the package up. It's actually called plasticine. It's reusable as long as you store it air dry. So I'm just gonna cut a big chunk off, like so. Let's place it in the center. And I'm gonna roll it out a little bit, and I don't have a roller, so I'm using a glass. So that's big enough for my mold to go in. But before I push it in, I'm gonna clean it with some alcohol. And the reason why I'm using the alcohol is because there was a drink inside of it, and I don't know what chemicals were in there that might react with the resin when I pour it. So I rather just clean it. Okay, so that looks good. It's pretty big. Let's try and put it on here. I'm just gonna push it in. I just want to make sure it's properly secured down, so when I go and pour my resin, it's not gonna move. So I was kindly gifted this plasticine. It has several other of the products I'm using by Silicones and More. You can find all the links to the products or their website in my description below the video. So it's not going anywhere. We'll have to wait till the dandelion is fully dried out before we can add it. But before that, I'm going to pour a little layer of colored resin in here. So let's start and mix up some resin. So I'm going to be mixing my resin, and I'm going to be using the River and Art resin because I'm going to fill this up more than a centimeter, I think, or maybe just a centimeter. It's a 2-to-1, And I'm going to be putting my respirator on, so I will sound a little bit different. So turn on the scales. So I'm going to start by pouring my resin. I think I'm going to go for 20 grams. Put it on 0. Got the hardener in here, so I need 10 grams of that. Just a little bit short, so let's use a spoon for the last little bit. And there we go. So let's get that out of the way and start stirring. I'm just gonna start my timer for 2 minutes. So I don't know what happened when my camera stopped recording. I just used the same aqua blue and added 12 drops to my resin and got this lovely color. And I poured a little bottom into my container, and now I'm gonna add some stones to it, or some glass. Okay, let's add some more resin. A little bit of heat. That was what I was worried about. The plastic melting. So let's heat it up on the other side as well, see if it goes the same way. Oh, we got some leakage. Well, let's see if this will work. Let's give it some time to cure, and we'll go on to the next phase. So my base is fully hardened. So I'm just going to cut this part off. Hopefully this knife will be sharp enough. Okay. I really want the plastic to stay intact. So there we have it. So this we will be able to use as the top. And now I'm going to peel off the clay. That might take a while, so I'll get right back to you. The plasticine you can reuse, and I will. Okay, so got most of it out. I'm probably gonna have to give it a clean. But we need to get the side off. So I'm going to try it really carefully. Come on. So that was really easy. So it's not completely round, unfortunately. But you know, this is my first try. I will just have to sand some pieces down before I can drill the hole in the center. Clean it up. But yeah, I'll just do that off camera. I'll be just using some sandpaper. So I've sanded my piece down. I just rounded off the edges. I did a little more sanding than I wanted, but that's okay. So now I'm going to put a dot in the center. So as you can see, all the glass is everywhere, but there's an area in the center here where there's not that much. So I just put a dot down, and I'm going to first put a starting point in here. so my drill won't slide. See, I just made a small hole. And then I've got a 4mm drill piece in here. Put it in here. Don't want to come out of the underside, but there's my hole. It's been drying for, I think, a little bit over a week. So now it's time to put it in the hole. I have a little bit of UV resin. Normally I don't use it a whole lot, but I thought it would be the fastest way to get it to secure. So we're gonna have to be pretty quick. I'm going to snap it off. Like so. And my little tweezers. I'm actually shaking. Put it in the hole. Let's do the full 60 seconds. And there you go. My little nail lamp to the rescue. It's standing pretty straight. I'm just gonna put it over the top. And I'm going to use my glue gun to secure it to my base. Already came too close with the glue gun. It's really difficult to find a plastic that will take the heat. So that's why I'm already a little bit scared of what it's gonna do with as much resin in it. Because it potentially could get so hot it would melt the plastic. So on top of the glue gun, I think I'm gonna do at least another layer of the glue gun, and then I'm going to use the plasticine to do another edge. But in the meantime, I think it would be a good idea to start mixing up my resin so it can sit for a little bit and get the air bubbles out. I'm going to try and pour in batches because my resin is getting thicker and I can't wait any longer. So what I'm gonna try is pour on the stick and let it run down the side. I'm shaking so much. That's the first batch. Let's put some more in my cup. Okay, that's the second batch. Gosh, my fingers are cramping. Almost fully covered. Lots of air bubbles coming up. That was cup number 4, powder number 3. Ooh, I need to take a break. My fingers are cramping, my legs are cramping. Let's do the last part. Okay, last one. And it's fully under. Whew. Still standing. It's looking fluffy. Oh my god. This is so nerve-wracking. don't want to overflow it. So I have to see if I look from the side. Okay, I think I can pour the last little bit in. Out of resin. It took me 18.5 minutes to get this done. So I'm going to get my little torch and try and pop those big bubbles. And then I'm going to cover it and come back in about 10-15 minutes and do that a couple times and just torch some bubbles. And I'll see you when it's time to unmold. Well, that took about an hour. That glue is so on there. I really didn't expect it to stick that well. It's still in the mold and you can see it's starting to release a couple edges. So I'm going to try and do the tapping. So I think I'm just gonna try and cut it. So I don't want to cut into the resin, so I'm trying to cut just the plastic and make a beginning so I can peel it off. Okay, there we go. Looks like it's melted to the resin. Here's the first one. Looks like a lot of bubbles. In the middle it's not that bad. So I'm trying to find a lamp or a little light I can shine under it. So it looks pretty cool. I don't mind the bubbles actually. I've got a couple more dandelions drying and I'm gonna try a different technique. I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!